I don't think it's enough to warrant a content warning, but this dark fantasy lifts up to its name for violence. If people being beheaded puts you off, stay away from this story. I mentioned in a Qualio review that there were 2 books I revived this channel for, and this is the second. Actually, this is a trilogy of books written by Matari Nanasawa, which sadly hasn't been officially translated. The Girl Who Bore the Flame Ring is about a girl who gets forced to join a rebellion army along with other able-bodied people from her village, but fortunately she turns out to be incredibly skilled in combat and strategy. The trilogy tells the story of this girl, Noel, amidst both the literal and political battlefield she gets wrapped up in while she tries to find happiness in her life. I said Noel is powerful from the start, but unlike isekais and stories like SAO, her talents are fully justified and the story takes a Sherlock Holmes-esque approach to her talents instead. Most of her story is told from other perspectives, so she and her talents are treated like mysteries to be solved, and her strategies are something to be awed by, like a scheme from Death Note or Code Geass, but even more cathartic. I never felt the urge to yell, "Yes!" or anything like that to anything Lelouch ever did, for example. But Noel isn't perfect. Another difference from the sea of Kiritos out there. She's a heavy drinker, becomes moody when it rains, and has an immature streak, though I found the latter quite endearing. I think she's someone you'd want as your best friend. Someone who makes every day a blast but will also help you if you need it. She even says and does some things that resonated with me on a personal level too, which really surprised me and won me over even more. The story is fascinating as well. Noel is talented, but things don't always go her way, and there are plenty of twists and turns, especially in books 2 and 3. You can never be sure what's going to happen next, but despite the overwhelming gloom, there are always patches of light, usually due to Noel being a massive troll. But as I said earlier, this is a dark fantasy. Even Noel does some horrific things for the greater good without batting an eye. The author's done their military research too, as the book features detailed descriptions of battle tactics, setting of traps and reconnaissance, but all of this is depicted in easy to digest way so that battles feel suitably long without feeling long. World building is handled the same way, with a map given at the start of each book along with casual references to where locations are in relation to others so that you can build a mental image of your own with which to understand why certain missions are more difficult or arduous than others. My original post on the light novel subreddit went on for ages, and I suspect this will be my longest video review as well, so let me try and keep things brief. This story is incredible, and Noel is one of the best protagonists I've ever had the pleasure of witnessing. Never before or since have I grinned like an idiot while seeing someone do something, or cheered when others react to her. Unfortunately, the other characters don't receive as much development. Only her 2 closest friends have proper arcs of their own, but Noel's deep complexity and her own arc carry the story easily, and her journey to find her own happiness and learning about her past grip you too. The story around her is full of intrigue and left me feeling outright scared for her at times, and I like how both sides of the conflict are shown to have both pros and cons too. This dichotomy isn't as pronounced as it is in the author's Death God series, but it's still enough to add an extra layer of nuance to the series. This is one of the books I outright look forward to rereading, just so I could see how all of the subtle hints and jokes in earlier chapters paid off in the bigger moments, on top of reliving those amazing moments, of course. This is a story about war, and one that doesn't shy away from showing the ugly side of both heroes and villains when it comes to it, but it still has moments that made me laugh out loud or cheer and have stuck with me vividly ever since I read it in 2019, after being on my radar for months, if not years, before it. I had to read the author's other books right away too, and I'm happy to say that they're also great. Now, if only some company would translate them. I always say thank you at the end of my videos, but I want to give you an extra thanks for putting up with this rambling. This series really is that good. Also, this series is the first time I've seriously shipped a pairing, and it's the hardest I've ever gone with it, which just makes me all the madder that it didn't come to pass. They were perfect for each other, they complemented each other so well, and one even got jealous of the other spending lots of time with another person. Why, Nanasawa-san? Why? Thank you for reaching the end of this video. I hope you liked it. Please let me and everyone else know your thoughts and recommendations or feedback in the comments. Also like, share and subscribe to help the channel grow. Thank you all again for watching, and as always, have a great day.